What's the difference between nature and sanskars? And how do they interplay with one another? Which would maybe be the root or the base?
I see sanskars as being something that we've lived with for many, many births, through many births. And I see nature, the Hindi word is subhav. And so the swa, the original state, and the bhavna, the feelings that I have, but it could also be the intentions that I have. So if I go back to the origin of that, then my original nature is something very beautiful. And except that, you know how today, I'll give you an example that clarifies it for me. Here's somebody who's strong and powerful, and that is their sanskar, to be like this. But then, on top of it, they also have the nature of actually being a little bit bossy or a little bit pushy. Because it all goes together in a sense. And so, yes, the sanskar is of, let me go out and do it and make it happen. But then the nature that interferes in Kali Yuga is that I tend to be a little bit pushy and a little bit bossy. And so maybe I'm even a little bit loud with that. And so what I have to do is to, when I'm dealing with somebody who's loud and pushy, then I have to remind myself, what is their original sanskar? And their original sanskar is a very nice one, of actually being able to make things happen with courage and determination. But on the surface of it, I'm seeing this aspect which is not very pleasant. And so this is what the dadis used to do. They didn't see the superficial aspect, but they saw the depth of the quality of the soul. They saw the sanskar that was a good sanskar within that individual. And so this is why sometimes we'd wonder, you know, how come I don't have time for this person because of the way they're behaving? But the dadis would have time for them in the sense of valuing them, appreciating them. And so that's where there's a divergence now. Then, of course, where there are sanskars that are not so good from the copper age, my sanskar of greed, well, the manifestation of that in my nature would then be accumulation, hoarding. But the depth is actually my neediness. I'm not fulfilled. I'm not able to fill myself. And so that neediness is making me greedy. And the way then to overcome it is just take whatever Baba is giving and be very content and filled with that. And so then you're dealing with both the copper age aspect of the sanskar, but also at this moment it's superficial manifestation, where you see somebody accumulating and you wonder why. But it's their insecurity. There's a discontent within the soul. So
it's a bit like the nature is the root or the essence.
The sanskar is the root.
Okay, the sanskar. Thank you for clarifying that. Then.
The sanskar is the root.
I don't know that I get it yet, but anyway.
I was describing two different situations where one is where the sanskar is good, but the external nature is not so pleasant. But the sanskar that is there, think about a lion, and there's a lion who's roaring,
right.
And the roar of the lion is so strong that you don't want to come near. Okay. But actually, the lion is good, courageous and powerful and strong. But of course, other things, so an analogy can only take you that far and not the whole way. And the other stage where it's not a pure sanskar, and also the manifestation in nature is also not so pure.